So, Denise, you've been busy. You went out and talked to AARP. So, tell us about that.
Well, AARP Kentucky has an event coming up, and it's all around about traveling, especially when you're of the AARP age. And it was held at the Taylor Trunk. What better place when you're dealing with luggage? And we were having some seats from an airplane in there, but let's just take a look. So it's time for another great segment with AARP Kentucky because we're going to be talking about a free community event. We're at that age of retirement or living your best life after 50, and we're going to be talking about an event that's called Sweet Travels, and it's presented by AARP. Of course, I want to introduce to you again Scott Waggonis. Welcome back to Urban Lifestyles.
Denise, it's so good to be back with you, and that's right. We're excited for this upcoming event. It's yet another one being produced by the AARP Louisville Community Team. But hey, let me just quickly say a big thank you to every volunteer that's out there, whether you're with AARP or not. April is Volunteer Month, and our volunteers at ARP are outstanding. They do so much work for us, and it's all to support the social mission of AARP, and we're excited to just congratulate them and have them working on our team.
I love anybody that volunteers. I'm always tipping my hat off to them, so thank you as well.
Yes. And just real quickly, we are super excited to see a special on Kentucky Educational Television, which you can watch on demand right now. It's called The Next Chapter, and they filmed a segment that is all about family caregiving. And in Kentucky, at any given time, there's 680,000 family caregivers out there delivering countless hours to the family to care for them. But it is a great show with Dr. Wayne Tuckson, who you probably know. And it is an incredible segment that's up online right now.
Just really quick, you don't know how many times that I've run into people who are caregivers, and it just seems as if there's never enough information out there or they need it to help them. So kudos again to AARP.
It's incredibly, it's a labor of love. Anybody that's been a caregiver or needs a caregiver, they are heroes.
So we will transition because I'm excited to talk about this travel segment, Sweet Travels of AARP. And I know, again, we have a young lady here who is a volunteer, and that would be Dana Moore. And I wanted to say welcome, Dana Moore, to Urban Lifestyle.
We're leaving on a jet plane.
Because we are in the seats here that's on the airplane, and I'm loving this. So let's talk about you being a volunteer and how you got involved in this exciting project.
Because I love to find out the current information. You know, I'm going to there's an Optimum Aging Conference. I'm going to that. I like to find out stuff about brain health and just things that'll prolong and better your life. And, you know, I've been involved in some of the caregiver things. That's always very rewarding. We always have fun, too. So that's what keeps me motivated, I think.
You are smiling as you're talking about this, and there are some questions that I think are so important, and I want to make sure that I get to these questions and touch on them because we are talking about travel. And when you're talking about travel, could you address how we can best travel? And there are things like TSA pre-check, there's global entry, there's AARP member discounts, and things of how even to pack. Because we just came back from a trip with our daughter getting married in Mexico, and people were saying pre-check and global, and I said I had no idea about it. Yes.
Well, our event's going to be May 14th. It's going to be from 6:30 to 8 at Woodhaven Country Club, which is right off Bardstown Road and Watterson Trail. It's on Woodhaven Court, I think. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to have an AARP national person that's going to tell about all the discounts and benefits you'll get, you know, and travel programs they have. So we're going to do that by Zoom, we think. And we're going to have a local travel agent that's going to talk about the real ID, you know, your license, you know, and when you have to have that. We're going to talk about travel insurance, cruise, train travel, what's the best time to get your airline tickets, and just some things that people have, you know, concerns about or maybe have not thought about. And the last thing, We're supposed to have an expert that's going to tell you how to get a week's worth of clothes in a carry-on bag. Can you believe that? I always have to take about 3 pairs of shoes and all that. But and we said sweet travels because we're going to have desserts. So we're going to have, cheesecake and cookies and things like that. And we're on the tail end of Derby. We're going to go with, kind of dress up a little bit and have a fun time. But we hope that, we're going to have time for questions. So if people have some questions, that they'll be able to talk to our travel agent there.
I love everything that you touched on, especially for me. I would say the biggest dilemmas sometimes for me, the challenge is how to pack and basically about knowing where to go and why when it comes to being nationally and internationally.
Yes, I know with our AARP membership, I always, book rooms with my AARP discount. I've done car rental. You get an AARP discount with that too. Yeah, but some of the international travel, I've got some questions about that too. But I want to, be able to do that and have a little knowledge.
Well, Denise, that is some great information. And, we're at that age. We have more leisure time, more leisure dollars, and travel is definitely the way to go.
And one of the things that I didn't know about is having global entry and going through the short lines instead of the long lines. And that was a lot of I need to know and good to know information.
We'll take another break and back with more.